let's talk about Meek Mill because you know, we actually talked about this the other day, but I kind of wanted to take it a little step further because there's a few people, a few rappers in Philadelphia, you know, that kind of look at Meek out of one eye. Like, what you really doing? Not for the city, but for the young talent. Even Fat G's. This dude, I don't know if you heard his music. He was talented, bro.
Yeah.
Like he was very, very talented and easily could be a mainstream artist. Easily with a pushing. And I'm not saying I don't know if Meek ever had anything to do with him. I don't know that personally.
Right.
But I know a lot of other rappers that he didn't. And unfortunately, I think the sad thing about it is that a lot of these rappers in the city and other cities are never going to get a chance to make it to mainstream. They either going to have to deal with either, God forbid, being killed, having one of their homies killed, or them killing, or them catching some type of a dope gun charge or something like that. It's going to take them completely out the game.
Right.
That's the sad reality of it. So, what do you feel about Meek Mill? Do you feel like he could have done more for the rappers, the young rappers in Philadelphia that have immersed talent that are coming out the city? The last person we seen him put on was my
Snoop.
man Snoop. And like I said, I made the analogy the other day. Look at Yo Gotti. Yo Gotti put on Glorilla. Yo Gotti put on Moneybag Yo, Black Youngster, Big 30. All these people out of small ass Memphis. And he did it. Who did Meek Mill put on from Philly? What's your thoughts on it?
Man, it's rough. I go a couple ways with it, man. I really do because on one side you look at it, and you would think and hope somebody as a star power of a Meek Mill would want to put people on in his camp and want to put people on in Philly and do what's right for Philly because like I made the analogy of Philly boxing. It's almost similar to where Philly hip hop is ingrained within the culture.
Yep.
There's a sector of Philly that has its own piece in the encyclopedia of hip hop. You know what I mean? You cannot have hip hop without Philly. And such a rich and historical place, you would love to see it continue to carry on its legacy. And unfortunately, the legacy is nothing but murder and
Damn.
what ifs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Talented ass rappers that could have been, should have been, but never really were because of whatever. Now, on the other side, I look at a Philly in general, and I think of some of the talent that came out of Philly, and I'm thinking about like, you know what I mean, outside of your beanies and your freeways, could they put they click together? You know what I'm saying? They had Philly on lock during that time.
Right.
Even the Cassidy's, who we got an immense amount of love for, and various artists, they've always at one point been kind of criticized for this. And I go to just kind of ask, is it a Philly thing or is it a Philly artist thing? Because we're close, but we're not into the politics of Philly, and we don't know how these young artists are acting. We don't know if they're as acceptive as a Glorilla or a Money Bag or you know what I mean, a Black Youngster would be down in Memphis. We don't know how they're reacting, so that's what I kind of struggle with. It's like, okay, I do believe that they should do more, but at the same time, are these artists putting themselves in position to receive more? Are the politics in Philly allowing these artists to come back and really give back without having a target on their back? Like it's just so much that goes into it that I wish I knew
So
more.
you feel like you saying that Meek Mill can't get to him because of that? Like Meek Mill come in and be like, "Yeah, look, you know what I'm saying? I'm taking you under my wing. I like your music, homie."
Nah, I'm not saying he couldn't. I'm saying he may be apprehensive because of it. The
Right.
ramification that maybe I think that he may be going, nah, I'm not doing it. You see what happened to him. You see what happened to him. Him understanding the politics of Philly and still being under that mindset. And as much as he runs his mouth on Twitter, you would think that he would hold himself under a higher regard, but he may walk in there and still think he's a part of them streets and a part of that animal that could eat his ass up. And it may be a fear factor in there. I don't know. I'm not giving him excuses. I'm
Yeah.
not. Because I wish he did do more. The way he runs his mouth on his goddamn social media platform, I wish he did more, at least from what we see. But it's another side that I wish I knew more of. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, I just think that I don't think it's nothing stopping him.
Mm.
You know what I mean, from going in. Because even when the time he was in Philly, it's different than now. Like it wasn't no gangs like that. It was streets and shit.
Right.
Now it's like streets/gangs, but it's still kind of relegated to certain areas. Like if certain areas this, but and that same area might be something else too.
Right.
As opposed to how it was different before. But I do kind of feel like he could have. I don't think that would have stopped him, in my opinion.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because I think, like you said, I think he could have been bigger than all of that, and I think that people would have celebrated them, and them cliques would have been happy. You know what I mean? If they was affiliated with the Dream Chasers, no matter what the clique was.
Okay.
You know what I mean? In my opinion. But I do think that it could be other things we probably don't know about, though. Really, that could have stopped it.
Let me
You know
ask
what I
you
mean?
this real quick. My
Yeah, go
bad to
ahead, go
cut
ahead.
you off.
Yeah.
Do you think that in Meek investing in Philly artists, that would need Meek to spend more time in Philly, which would give him a little more cause to pause? Because he ain't really out there like that no more.
Right, but I mean, he going out there armored trucks and shit, and 30. He could afford
Right.
security that nobody's going to. Not anybody can be. Anybody can be
Be
touched
touched. Right.
at any time or whatever. But I mean, nowadays you bringing a nigga to L.A. or you bringing him. When PNB Rock, what was he killed in L.A. because
Yeah, he
he
was.
got out of Philly.
Yep.
A lot of these dudes, once they get a little bit of success, they do return to Philly, but most of the time they in Atlanta, L.A., Houston
Yep.
area. I don't know. I don't know why Meek didn't do it, man. I think it would have been dope because even Jay-Z went into Philly.
All right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Jay-Z went
He
to
knew.
Philly and a lot. Yeah, like that. People said that shielded him from a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Because if you was saying something about Jay-Z, he had all these Philly shooters on the microphone,
Word.
probably on the street too, but on the microphone that was gonna come at you with a couple New York dudes mixed in there, But what I didn't like though, just kind of moving off that subject, it's how some of them dudes turned on Meek Mill, man. Some of his friends that was around him that I seen going on academics, people not even doing no music. I didn't like that. As much nutty shit as Meek Mill says on the internet, and I think he should shut the hell up.
Word.
I ain't like that. I wasn't really feeling that.
Nah.
You was around this dude every day. I wasn't feeling that, bruh.
It
I
makes
really
you,
wasn't.
It really makes you understand dynamics of why Meek said F a lot of them.
I was thinking that.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Because if they had it in them to do that, then he's seen it way beforehand. And you know the clowns in your group. You see it.
Right.
And sometimes it hurts because you may have grew up with these clowns your whole life.
Yep.
You got genuine love for them. But they've done things and got characteristics that make you go, I don't know about that one.
I don't know about this nigga.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if things came to where it needed to come, would he be happy for me or would he smile and be
Right.
envious behind my back in the second I
Yeah.
don't do something for him? And he has an opportunity, like an academic, to get on and make me look crazy, he will.
Right.
Me and you stop effing with each other tomorrow. That would never happen to the
Right.
day we die. But let's say it happened. I would never get on this microphone and say anything crazy about you.
Exactly.
That's our business.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And that
Yep.
ain't nobody else's business. And that's the loyalty that nobody could break. If I ain't got you like that, then I ain't really messing with you, bro. And maybe
Right.
he's seen that. Maybe he's seen that, man.
Maybe he did. I was thinking that too. Like maybe he kind of seen like, man, I ain't trying to get, wrapped up in that with this and that, and who knows? Who
Right.
knows at the end of the day? I think in some ways we're not sitting there acting like he never supported a Philly artist,
Right.
Because we're not talking about him reposting something. I seen him do that millions of times. We're talking about putting somebody in a position like, yo, you hot, you fire. I'm putting you in position. I'm setting you up with a deal with my people. Or I'm gonna give you a deal. I'm gonna give you 500,000, $1 million. We're gonna split this and that. Let's go. What was stopping him from doing that? Now it'd be a question
Ask him.
that we would ask. It's not like we trying to come at his neck or nothing like that.
Got
It's
so
just
much love for Meek Mill, bro. My bad.
Oh yeah,
So
over the
much
years,
love for
people
Meek
can
Mill.
see it.
Yeah.
Go through the archives. We've been riding with Meek Mill since day one. Now we'll say something if you do something crazy, but we've been riding with Meek Mill since day one. He was locked up. We was advocating for him before that and all that. So yeah, definitely, man. But great subject, and I'm gonna hear what the people got to say in the comment section. What do you think? Why do you think Meek Mill, didn't do a little bit more, or put a Philly artist under his wing and help him blossom? Is more so what we saying.
Great